Hello my beautiful hammerheads and welcome back to another Black Library review. This time it's Dante by Guy Haley. So this is the first novel in the Dante trilogy, and I know I've read it in the wrong order, and this one is the one which I haven't read before. So Devastation of Baal and Darkness in the Blood were known to me, but this one wasn't. And I was positively surprised by this one, as I have really expected something similar to the other two. And of course, there are similarities in here because it's a Guy Haley novel like the other ones, it's about Dante like the other ones, but Mephiston isn't really a part here like within the other two novels, but we get to see Dante in a different kind of way. This is a more Dante intimate story, which I really enjoyed. So for my vampire affinity, Blood Angels would be my thing. However, I don't know what it is. They never really piqued my interest over the Ultramarines, so they were close because vampires. And I've read many things vampires before. And if this book would have existed back then when I was just starting in the Warhammer hobby, this would have been probably the tipping point for me to play Blood Angels, because we get to know Dante as he was still a child. He no marine, no scout, no nothing. How he ventures to the fortress monastery of the Blood Angels, the Arx Angelicum, and all the things he endures on his way, that he sees the Sanguinior in visions on his way, and so on and so forth. There are so many good things in there. As I've said, what he encounters on his way, the friendships he makes, the rivals he meets, and it's great. And of course, there is in... Now I will mix those two up. In Devastation of Baal and in Darkness of the Blood, when we see the life of Dante before he got to be the chapter master, we have him in one as a lieutenant being promoted to the captain. No, not lieutenant, sorry. Now I'm back in the Primaris universe or the Horus Heresy universe, when he was a veteran sergeant being promoted to a captain because firstborn Marines. And in this one, we have all the training and the trials the initiates have to conquer and to solve to become, well, at least scouts. Then the comparison to other chapters in which they slowly introduce all the Space Marine organs one by one, and in here it's just bam, everything at once. And now we will see what your body does with it. Basically, I've skipped many things with this, but this is the gist of it. And then his life as a scout. And the most fascinating thing for me is the Red Thirst and the Black Rage, which is for us fans a known thing. But for Dante, experiencing those things the first time and how he copes with it, how it shames him, how other brothers of him are falling to those things and how he reacts to those things. Oh, it's beautiful. I really felt for those situations, even when he succumbs to the Red Thirst or the Black Rage, even for a short time. Well, he don't really succumb to the Black Rage, of course, we know this. But when he's close to succumbing to it, so great stuff. And on how he sees Baal, and not only Baal, the chapter and the Imperium in its whole, it's beautiful. Of course, this isn't the overarching story. However, his life prior being a member of the chapter is a great part of the novel. And I love this, that the focus of this book is not solely the fight. I don't even remember who they fight, because all the best parts were his life as a kid. And all the things we learn about, well, not only the Sanguinior, his visions, that he's really close to Sanguinius himself, even before he is a member of the chapter, he gets the blood of the angels. There is a heartwarming scene with his real birth father, not Sanguinius as his gene father. There are many not sweet moments, was my first thought. Maybe sweet moments, but very good moments with the chaplaincy, especially one chaplain who he builds a friendship with as an initiate, as a scout, to the veteran sergeants, to becoming a captain, and so on and so on. And this is great. And before they get to, well, participate in combat training as a scout, the first weeks are just, here, be a nerd, here's a brush, paint something. So it is confirmed blood angels are hobbyists. Oh no, we already, of course, we knew that. But it's kind of funny to see it in universe, on how Dante and his brothers react to this. Not, ah, yes, we are now men, we have to fight, we have to train. What do I do with a pen? And over all this time, on how Dante changes from, okay, we have to fight to preserve the Imperium, we have to fight to protect the innocent, to, oh, please, just let me die, but I won't disgrace myself and the chapter with just killing myself or being killed by a puny enemy. I will fight until the end, but please just let me die. So this one is also shorter than the other novels, and there isn't really much to talk about. The only thing that really annoyed me was, yes, we are the 9th Legion. The number 9 is everywhere. Doing things for 9 weeks, doing things for 9 times. Yes, Sanguinius wrote 99 journal entries, or anything 9. This is on a chaos follower level. Yes, Korn has everything 8. You banish Angron and he comes back 8 weeks, 8 hours, 8 minutes later. And he's 8 times angrier as before. This is on this level. The fight scenes were okay. There were some which were enjoyable, especially those in which he's still a kid and they have to fight against other initiates. Those were grim but enjoyable because it was something different. Another tense moment was when he was flying for the first time. This was really good, and on their way with the other children who were on the trials to become, well, blood angels, they are being attacked by, let me call it vultures. They are blood eagles. But every time I heard blood eagle, I was thinking about the practice of the Vikings. So, close, it's bloody, but no. This was enjoyable as, yeah, there isn't really much. This is mostly an emotional story, and I love it for this. And as funny as some scenes were, I kinda missed a little bit of diversity. So don't get me wrong, this is a really, really well written book. As I've said, I really enjoyed the kid Dante parts of the story. I really enjoyed the end of the story. As sad as I was that it ended, the ending was really good. However, all the focus was on the red thirst and the black rage at some point in the book. And I understand that those scenes were really close to me. At one point, I wished there would be more discussions with his, not his handmaid, I forgot the title, his assistant, the one who helps him out when he's not in war, who basically lets his bath in, his butler, basically. Also, an old man. This is a nice parallel to Darkness in the Blood when he has dinner with the Admiral, who's also kinda in the very harsh PTSD moments. And in here we have two old men talking a little bit. And I can see how this evolved from Dante with just a little bit of discussion on how he should preserve the Imperium of Man and how everyone else around him sees Dante, to Devastation of Baal and Darkness in the Blood. So this is totally my fault, by the way. So I'm not faulting Mr. Haley for this, as I wasn't able to do research well enough to know that Dante is the first book in the series, because everyone was talking about Devastation of Baal and how good it was. And yes, they are right. But I kinda missed the information that Dante, the book Dante, is the first one in the series. And so step by step, this would have made much more sense. So as I've said, I'm not faulting Mr. Haley for this, and I'm not deducing any point for this. Because all in all, this is a really, really good book. This is a solid 9 out of 10 drops of blood in the cup of Sanguinius. And as I've said, really good humor in it. Nice action scenes. They are pretty unusual for the action in the 40k universe. And it still holds up for the now almost 6 years since it's been released. And I can say, as much as I enjoyed it, I would have enjoyed it by far more if I have read it the first time as the first book in the series. As I already kinda knew what happened, as they were talking about it in Devastation of Baal. But yeah, what are your thoughts about all of this? Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I am keen to know what you have to say. And while you're down there, do all the YouTube stuff, because hitting buttons is fun. If you want to support the channel and you don't know what to say, just write Dante in the comments. Have a great day, my friend. Stay fantastic. Stay hydrated. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!